guys, it's Lucy, and today I'm going to be doing my January wrap-up. This is the most unplanned video ever because I am going back to school tomorrow, and by the time you see this, I will already be at school, and it will be my first day of school. I don't know when this is going on. So I wanted to get this filmed because I have to go and immediately turn all the library books I took out right after I film this. And also, I just wanted to point out that even though I am leaving, I have pre-filmed a bunch of videos, probably like a month's worth of videos actually, so you will be getting this background a lot more just because I want to try and give myself a little break because I am going to be going back to school. I'm starting a new semester, all this new stuff, blah blah blah, and yeah, I just wanted to try and give myself a break and not have to worry about filming and stuff. The first 5 books I'm about to talk about I have already talked about because I read them for TBR Takedown and the Winter Biennial Bibliothon, and I have a wrap-up for those readathons up, and I'll link it down below and somewhere on the screen. And yeah, so I'm not going to talk too much about them. The first book that I read in January was Soundless by Rochelle Mead. I gave this book 4 stars. I enjoyed reading it. The next book I read in January was A Work in Progress by Connor Franta. I gave this 4 stars also. I really enjoyed it. This is a memoir by Connor Franta, who, if you don't know, is a YouTuber. This is one of those YouTuber books, and I really enjoyed it. I expected to enjoy it less than I actually did, but I did like it. It's probably best for people who already like Connor, because if you don't, then I don't really know why you'd care about his life. The next book that I read for those readathons was New Moon by Stephanie Meyer, and yes, the sticker is still on it. I tried to get it off, and I can't because it's been on the book for so long. I gave this 5 stars. This was a reread for me. This was the first reread of the year for me, and it's number 1 out of 6 because I did say that I was trying to reread 6 books this year, and so I already got 1 down. I enjoyed this. It was a good time. It brought back all the Twilight feels. The next book that I read in January was Beauty Queens, which I gave 3.5 stars. This was the first book that I've ever read by Libba Bray, and I enjoyed it a lot. I was not disappointed. I am going to continue reading Libba Bray's books, and I also did a review on it. I think, yeah, I did a review on it. I'm not sure if it's up yet. If it's up, it will be linked down below and somewhere on the screen. The last book I read for those readathons was Gathering Blue by Lois Lowry. This is the second book in the Giver Quartet, and I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. Now that we are done with the books that I read for the readathons that I took part in, now I'm going to talk about the 3 books that I read after the readathons. Actually, after the readathons, I don't want to call it a reading slump. It was more of I don't know what to read thing because I spent like 3 or 4 days trying to decide if I should read Illuminae, Memoirs of a Teenage Amnesiac, or Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda. So yeah, and what I ended up choosing after 3 or 4 days of laying in my bed having a crisis over what book to read, I chose Illuminae by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. This book did not disappoint. This book was a great choice. I gave it 5 stars. I loved it so much. It has everything you could ever want in a book. I did a whole separate review on this book that will not be up for like 2 weeks. So when that review is up, I will link it down below and somewhere on the screen. But for now, I really enjoyed this book. It has everything you could ever want in a book ever. If you enjoy sci-fi, I recommend it. If you enjoy books with strange formats, because this is told in like instant messages, more instant messages, other things, like emails and stuff like that, and it's really good, really great, and if you don't want to read it, you should buy it for decoration, because look at this cover, it is gorgeous, so beautiful, and now I can't get back in. The next to last book that I read in January was A Study in Scarlet, which is the first classic book I read. Technically, I did start it in December, but I read the majority of it in January, because I finished it on the 19th of January, and I started at the very end of December, probably, I think. Maybe, who knows. I was listening to it on audiobook, which is why it was taking me so long, because I don't have that many excuses to listen to audiobooks, so I just listen to it sporadically. But I did enjoy it. I gave it 3.5 stars. I enjoyed the first half of the book a lot more than the second half, just because there's a very big shift in narration and everything that's happening with the second half of the book that I did not expect at all. For that half of the book, I was mostly just confused, so that took away a lot of my enjoyment, but I did enjoy learning about Sherlock and John Watson, so hopefully I will continue to read more Sherlock Holmes in the future. And the last book that I read this month was Memoirs of a Teenage Amnesiac by Gabrielle Zevin. This was a good book. I enjoyed it a lot. Gabrielle Zevin is one of my favorite authors, so I'm trying to read all her books, and this is the 5th one, 4th one. I don't know. I gave this 3.5 stars. This is about a girl who hits her head, and then she ends up with amnesia, which makes her forget the past 4 years of her life. And it's just about her navigating life, trying to remember all these people that she knows. Like, she forgets her best friend. She forgets that, like, her dad's getting married. She forgets a lot of important things. So I really did enjoy this. I gave it 3.5 stars. I liked it. There was just nothing super special about it. And there's some aspects that I think were not as fully explored as they could have been. But I enjoyed it. So those are all the books that I read in, what month is it? January. Yeah, so if you read any of the books that I read, tell me down below. Or if you have any opinions about any of the books that I've read, let me know down below. And I will also be linking my wrap-up for TBR Takedown and Winter Biennial Bibliothon, so you can see more of my thoughts on those books. And I think that is all I have to say. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye! That's not a good page. This is told in, like... Okay, no. None of these pages are working for me. So beautiful. Beautiful. Why is this on my head, you ask? I don't know.